Welcome to Little English Studio, where English learning meets the inspiring journeys of the world's most fascinating people. Today, we bring you the incredible story of a man who made the impossible look real, who turned magic into the most spectacular art form of the modern era. This is the life story of David Copperfield, the magician who vanished the Statue of Liberty, walked through the Great Wall of China, and enchanted millions across the globe. His journey is one of imagination, hard work, triumphs, and the pursuit of wonder. David Copperfield was born as David Seth Kotkin on September 16, 1956, in Metuchen, New Jersey, USA. His parents, Rebecca and Hyman Kotkin, raised him in a modest Jewish household. From an early age, David was shy and introverted. But while other children were playing sports, David found himself drawn to the world of fantasy and illusion. At the age of 10, he picked up his first deck of magic cards and started performing simple tricks. What separated David from other children was not just curiosity, but obsession. He spent hours practicing, reading magic books, and learning from masters of illusion. By the time he was 12 years old, he became the youngest person ever admitted to the Society of American Magicians. For David, magic was not just about tricks, it was about storytelling. Even as a boy, he imagined bigger performances, illusions that could capture people's emotions, not just their surprise. As a teenager, David was not only passionate about magic, but also about theatre and music. He loved Broadway musicals and admired performers who could combine talent with showmanship. This passion shaped his vision of magic. He wanted it to feel like theatre, like art, not just tricks at a party. By 16, he was already teaching a magic course at New York University. Imagine that, a teenager teaching adults how to perform illusions. His natural ability to perform and explain gave him confidence. He adopted the stage name David Copperfield, inspired by the famous Charles Dickens novel. He chose the name because it sounded mysterious, elegant, and timeless, qualities he wanted to bring to his magic. In the early 1970s, David Copperfield's career took off when he starred in a Chicago musical called The Magic Man. This show ran for months and showcased his unique blend of magic, acting, and storytelling. Unlike traditional magicians who focused only on tricks, Copperfield wanted the audience to feel something deeper, suspense, joy, or even romance. Soon after, television producers noticed his talent. He began appearing in magic specials and variety shows, slowly building a reputation as a new kind of magician. His charm, soft voice, and dramatic style made him stand out. By the late 1970s, David Copperfield had launched his own television specials. These shows were groundbreaking. Instead of small tricks, he performed giant illusions, making cars disappear, levitating, and even making himself vanish in impossible ways. Millions of people tuned in. The 1980s and 1990s were David Copperfield's golden years. His television specials became some of the highest-rated shows in history, broadcast in over 40 countries. Here are some of his most iconic illusions. The disappearance of the Statue of Liberty, 1983. In one of his most famous tricks, David made the entire Statue of Liberty vanish in front of a live audience and millions watching on TV. The illusion carried a symbolic message: freedom is precious, and it can disappear if we don't protect it. Walking through the Great Wall of China, 1986. David stunned the world by walking through one of the 7 wonders of the world. This illusion was both technically brilliant and symbolically powerful, crossing barriers that seem impossible. Levitation over the Grand Canyon, 1984. He floated high above the Grand Canyon, defying gravity itself. The Death Saw, 1995. In a dramatic performance, Copperfield was chained and appeared to be cut in half by a giant circular saw. Escape from Alcatraz, 1987. Inspired by Houdini, David escaped from a locked prison surrounded by guards and searchlights. Each illusion was not just a trick, it was a theatrical event. He combined lighting, music, storytelling, and acting to make magic a true performance art. Behind the fame, David Copperfield also faced challenges. The pressure of constant innovation was enormous. He worked tirelessly, sometimes rehearsing for 16 hours a day to perfect an illusion. His personal life was often in the spotlight. He had a high-profile relationship with supermodel Claudia Schiffer, which attracted media attention but eventually ended. He also faced legal disputes and controversies, including accusations from critics who questioned some of his illusions or business practices. But through it all, David Copperfield remained focused on his mission, to inspire wonder and possibility. David Copperfield was not only a performer, he was also a shrewd businessman. He built a fortune through live shows in Las Vegas, His residency at the MGM Grand became one of the most successful magic shows in history. Television specials, dozens of Emmy-winning shows that reached millions worldwide. Merchandise and licensing, turning his brand into a global empire. Magic Museum, he collected over 80,000 items of magic history, creating the world's largest museum of magic in Las Vegas. By the 2000s, David Copperfield had become one of the wealthiest entertainers in the world, often appearing on Forbes lists. David Copperfield is often called the greatest illusionist of all time. His influence on magic is unmatched. He transformed magic from small tricks into large-scale theatrical art. He inspired countless magicians, from street performers to Las Vegas stars. He connected magic with storytelling, emotion, and symbolism. He proved that imagination has no limits. Over his career, David Copperfield has received 21 Emmy Awards, been knighted by the French government, and even earned a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. But perhaps his greatest achievement is this: he reminded the world that wonder is essential to human life. In an age of science and technology, Copperfield showed us that there is still room for mystery. And so, the boy who once practiced magic in his small New Jersey bedroom grew up to become the world's greatest magician. David Copperfield's story is about more than illusions. It's about dreaming big, working hard, and believing that the impossible is possible. His life reminds us that no matter where we come from, with imagination and determination, we can make magic happen. This was the story of David Copperfield, magician, storyteller, and dreamer.